Recreation to look inside a very special medical facility in New York City where the best prescription for pain is a unique combination of skill and compassion. An injured patient arrives by taxi at the Animal Medical Center.
People's pets, they're not just possessions, they're really members of the family. And when people call me on the telephone, they'll say, I'm Oscar's mother, or I'm Cuckoo's father.
Hey, so what exactly happened to your pig?
We're giving him a bath and his, one of his back hooves snapped.
Yeah. Well, how much has it been bleeding since?
A lot. It's been bleeding a lot.
Okay, a doctor will be in to have a look at your pig in just a few minutes.
You just have to be ready for anything because you don't know what's going to come in.
And who is this?
Dr. Laurie Heath examines Ned, the pot-bellied pig.
And did he hit it on the edge of the tub?
No, I think he put his weight on it weird when he got in.
Okay, why don't we get him up on the table?
Anytime you try to handle a pig, they'll squeal, and they'll squeal loudly. If you're going to do this on a regular basis, work with pigs, you really need to wear earplugs or your hearing can be affected.
Calm down, boy.
There are all these people doing that, huh?
He had indeed ripped his whole nail off his claw.
All right.
I thought that we should have a surgeon look at it to determine whether or not he had the bone exposed underneath.
You big ham. That's what you are.
When I saw Ned coming down the corridor, someone tempting him to walk down with party mix, I knew he was going to be difficult to handle. I tried to pet him, call his name, but he was just not going to have anything to do with anything. Hi, Ned. Hi, Ned. I tried to look at him on his level and on his terms. Attaboy.
One person was at one end working on his foot, while I was at the other end feeding him. He could have cared less about what we were doing as long as he had his party mix.
There was every indication that a new nail would grow back on its own as long as we could keep the open area clean. And you don't want the infection to get in the bone because then he's going to lose the toe anyways and it can become a systemic infection and it'll never heal. So we're in a grace period. It's contaminated but probably not infected yet. Flush it real good and start him on a systemic antibiotic. For pigs.
When Chloe, a 9-month-old Bichon Frise who ingested some poison, is brought in, Director of Counseling, Susan Cohen, goes to speak with her owner.
I was told that there was a very distraught woman with a sick dog and that she needed help.
Okay, what's going on? I don't know the nature. She was fine. I got home at 5:30. I had left her all day.
On the wood floor, I had used a cleaning substance. She probably licked it up. I just thought that she was going to die.
Okay, just breathe, okay? That's a ticket. That's good. That's good. That's a ticket. The doctor's here. She's going to say, what's your dog's name?
Chloe.
Chloe. Hey, Chloe. Hey, sweet thing. It's, of course, human nature to be upset when somebody you love appears to be getting sick and maybe dying, or has maybe consumed poison. I mean, all of us would be upset.
Her mouth was all, her tongue was all white.
Uh-huh.
I see you. George.
Hi, guess what I found?
When tests on Chloe are completed, Anne is updated on her condition.
What we're going to do is start her on some fluids into her vein to support her overnight. In case.
They told me that her liver had been attacked by a toxic substance and that Chloe would have to stay in the hospital, but they reassured me that she probably was going to be okay.
An injured owl found in a quarry is brought in by a wildlife preservation team.
We went out to get him, and by the next day we were noticing that he wasn't looking at things. He was tracking with his ears. So we brought him to a veterinarian, and they established that he had cataracts.
Ophthalmologist Susan Kirshner examines the owl to determine the extent of eye damage.
All right, little guy. Birds are very, very prone to damage to the retina part of the eye. The only way that I could see his retinas was to do an ultrasound of his eyes. See, that space is not supposed to be there, and I'm concerned that that may be, at least in this eye, a detached retina. So let's do the other eye. It's okay, sweetie. The left eye had one small part of the retina that looked as if it was still intact. So I thought that with a little luck, we might be able to restore at least partial vision to one eye. I'm very happy that they had found Bartimaeus, because his chances for living in that quarry would have been nothing.
Within 2 hours of being brought in, Ned the pig is ready to go home.
We flushed it with an antiseptic solution and put a bandage around it. He should come back tomorrow for a 24-hour recheck and let us evaluate it at that time. It pretty much stopped bleeding, and I don't think you'll have a problem with it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you guys will probably order lots of party mix now.
In case we have any more pigs coming.
Right.
Some days are very sad, and you're on an emotional roller coaster constantly. So when something nice happens or something funny and comic, it's always nice, especially when it turns out so well.
Goodbye. Bye, Ned. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Arnold, a 5-year-old English bulldog, is rushed into the emergency room.
He was having so much difficulty breathing, and he was starting to turn a little blue.
Dr. Laurie Gordon is in charge of his care.
He collapsed just as we got him back to the prep room.
Somebody getting a mask?
Is he breathing at all? Let's get him intubated.
Got me a line, laryngoscope.
Hey, you got it in?
Yeah, it's in.
Let's get some nice cool fluids. Let's get a bag of...
We need to get him cooled down because he was over 106 degrees Fahrenheit.
Adrian, can you get a bowl of cold water while you're over there? Can I have another bag of fluids, please?
Despite our getting oxygen into him as soon as possible, the next thing that went was his heart. We tried cardiac resuscitation to try to start the heart again.
Is he getting oxygen?
Okay, get another line. Chair to stand on.
I don't think he's got anything. He's got nothing.
He's fixed and dilated.
After working on Arnold for 20 minutes, doctors pronounce him dead.
We literally say goodbye. Goodbye, Arnold, pet him, and mentally wish him well. Just like a human. No one likes to lose a patient.
It's not, I'm afraid, in this state. I'm afraid we couldn't. He's dead.
He
yeah.
dead?
He's died. Yeah.
It's not just the animal, it's the person who owns them, too. There's a lot of emotion involved.
In the car, he started to breathe real quick. Is this on the west side? He's dead.
These are best friends. These are creatures who give love back unconditionally. They're always there to love you.
It won't be too tough for us to know whether he can see better.
Dr. Kirshner performs the delicate eye surgery on Bartimaeus the owl.
This bird has had some trauma to the inside of the eye, so that there are a lot more little rips and tears than usual, so I'm going to have to kind of work around those. It was a long surgery because he had some other damage in his eye.
The owl.
This bird has had some trauma to the inside of the eye, so that there are a lot more little rips and tears than usual, so I'm going to have to kind of work around those. It was a long surgery because he had some other damage in his eye that we had to take care of. Birds have very different cataract in texture, like curdled milk, and it makes it a little bit more difficult than it would be in another species. We were just going for that small chance that we could give him a little bit of sight. Even if he is not able to see well enough to go completely free, I'm at least optimistic that he will see light and dark and will be able to see the sun, and we'll basically just follow him from here. He's hanging in there. He's a good, strong bird.
Hello? Hi, Barbara?
Down the hall, Susan calls Barbara Tate to comfort her on the loss of her bulldog, Arnold.
Yeah, I heard about Arnold, and I just called to... Yeah, I am doing okay. I'm, depressed. Depressed, yeah. Depressed, yeah. I found that...
What Barbara needed was to talk in great detail about what happened. I think to try to figure out Arnold, whom she loved very much, got to be dead.
Your guard was down a little, right? Because you weren't really prepared for anything very bad to happen. Oh, no. I was totally taken aback. I didn't think...
It's nice to have somebody understand that it's really like your family.
I've had dogs over the years, and he was the sweetest dog I ever had. He was also the dumbest.
And unless you have somebody you can talk